I have them. Hey, Joe, my brother's out here mooching off of me, so I thought I'd come in to mooch off of him. So,
I know.
How you doing, buddy?
I know we both of you two. I would have worn a suit tonight. So.
Nice.
Yeah, I got my work shirt on, my general contractor. So
it's good to see you, Brian. You got both the spears.
Everybody.
I got my under money under Joe. My
Nice.
Under Armour shirt, but yeah, under money. So
That's nice.
Oh,
Could be an M. I could see that. I could be an M.
That's actually hilarious over there. Scott, you want to kick
I'm out
this
here,
off, or you tell me? I didn't get a chance to call you today, so I didn't know if you were going to be on today or not.
I'll let you kick it off. I'm busy out here, sucking the electricity off my brother for free, so it's kind of fun. So, yeah.
All right.
90 degrees inside the RV. I got the heaters going, He walked in, he started undressing. He's like, man, it's so hot in here. I'm like, well,
So, pay for it. There you go. Is he a perfect tenant, Brian? Oh, man. Why don't you open up the windows, Scott? Scott, open up the windows.
Yeah. Well, I'm not getting any housing assistance in this Rochester.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, my God. All right. Let's kick this thing off over here. I don't know if there's any new people on here, but most of us pretty much know this is the Alternative Real Estate Investment Group. We focus on everything having to do with real estate, tenants and toilets. We really don't touch upon that. There's a whole other group for that. We keep this very open forum. And in regards to the land, if you want to know about tenants and toilets, there's a whole separate housing group, which is meeting next Thursday night, and that's going to be a Ferrari's Pizza.
And it's the last one of the year.
Oh, yeah.
We're there. This is it. No more housing provider because it's Thanksgiving and Christmas for the next two fourth Thursdays.
Yeah.
So
There's only 11. There's only 11 Saturdays until 2023. That's it. So yeah, I kicked some people with that one. So if you want, if that's going to be next Thursday night, go onto the website. It's at Ferrari's Pizza, East Rochester, 6:30. I assume it's 6:30. Everybody gets there for the networking. 7 o'clock it starts. I know Carl Weeks runs that, and Beth and Pat Gallagher. Okay. So you can talk about tenants and toilets. Your heart is ever so content. And I know that there's going to be, obviously, I don't know what we also have a general meeting. For those who don't know, that's going to be the second Thursday of the month. I don't know who is speaking next one at.
it's vendor night.
Yep, sounds like I need to let you know what about that. Yeah, as Andy was just saying, it is vendors night. And so everyone who is has a membership as a vendor, including those folks who are our subgroup leaders, they are also vendors, have an opportunity to speak. And don't know at this point how many people there are going to be or how many vendors. If there's two or if there's, well, I was going to say 20, but it can't be 20. We don't have quite that many, but close in total. We're going to have a great time. If nothing else, we'll eat a lot of pizza. And so just the format is just going to be sort of, and we've talked about it a little bit, some tables in the main meeting room. We're going to allow the vendors to take a couple of minutes just to talk about what it is that they do. And we're going to do that. And it's not going to be one of those things where you say, okay, you got 30 seconds and that's it. They haven't made that type of decision yet because we don't know how many that there will be. But every person who's a vendor member, we expect to take the opportunity to talk to the group, let them know what they're doing, let them know what it is that they provide. And so I don't think we had a vendor members night last year. Pretty sure we didn't. And so this gives them, the vendor members, an opportunity to talk about what it is that they provide. And if you happen to be a subgroup leader, you can talk about what it is that you do and how you get clients, and maybe someone in the audience could be your client. Who knows? So that's it in a nutshell. Andy, I missed anything that you want to add there?
No, I think you got it. I think we're good. 2 to 3 minutes for everybody. People can have tables or not. Like it's just going to be an opportunity for some heavy duty networking. That's all. I think J&M's definitely going to be there. I'll be there. I'm sure Joe will be there. Carl might show up maybe if he so chooses. He's on the call, which is why I'm calling him out right now. He's also ignoring me apparently. That's fine. Love you, Carl.
Yeah, sometimes he multitasks when he's on the call like this. Yeah, I mean, it's be a great opportunity and for people to, as you said, Andy, network. I think it was year before last. No, it couldn't have been then, but at one point in time, because of the pandemic, at one point in time, we actually had a meeting where all we did was just network with each other and talk about what it was they were doing. I do remember that Joe, you was there, Joe Lababero, you were there at the meeting. We was at Johnny's. You remember it?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, that was a great night. Yeah, that
was the one window in the pandemic where I think everybody could get together because the pandemic was on, but people were still going out. It was before they were like, yeah, no, you're closed.
Yeah, maybe it probably was something like that. But I see this meeting as being sort of a mixture, if you will, of the vendor night and what we did during that particular meeting where a lot of people got together and just talked about real estate. So that's it. I'll let you guys take back over, and that means handing it back over to you, Mr. Joe Lababera.
Right. And by the way, if anyone has questions, just go on the FFREIA website, FFREIA.com, Freedom First Real Estate Investment Association. Go check it out. It'll give you whatever information you need to be able to see where you got to go. Okay. I don't know. And by the way, anything we talk about, whatever you do, don't take as gospel. Always consult your attorney, always consult your accountant. Okay?
And your wife. Or your
husband. And that too. You don't want to sleep on the couch or in the garage.
Or in the doghouse.
And absolutely. Because remember, what may work for some of us may not be right for you and vice versa. Okay. And then we like to keep this live, interactive for everybody, because that's a great thing about this group. We want to be able to at least learn and be able to bounce ideas off each other. I don't know if there's any new people on there that have been on there for the first time. If you are, we just gave you a quick, 15-30 seconds, introduce yourself, tell us what you're looking for in real estate. I don't know if there's anyone here who's actually here for the
We'll
first
do
time.
this, Joe.
What?
We'll do this. My brother, it's been a while since he's been. A few people may not know him, so I'll have him introduce himself. So go ahead, Pete. Introduce yourself, tell him what you do. He doesn't do much.
No, I'm Brian Spear. I'm Scott's dad. So, I've been heavily into the investment market and RV market since the 80s, and that I've kind of gotten away from investing and buying houses from Joe, who's been my main guy to sell me. We started a contracting business, and I got rid of a lot of my rental properties and got into rental equipment. I bought equipment, and then people started renting it from me. So any of you need a bulldozer, backhoe, man lift, mini excavator, trailers, dumps, and all that, we have all that kind of equipment now. We have a contracting part of our business is doing really well. We do work for a few investors and flippers and that. We're a certified HA 203K contractor, which is a little tough to get, which helps out. If you guys get houses that you don't want to do stuff with, but you want to sell them to somebody, for those of you who aren't familiar with FHA 203s, it's where the government will give you extra money or the bank will give you extra money to fix up a house. I'm also a realtor, but I use that more for the houses I buy and sell and that. So I'm getting more in the twilight of my career. Still do a little investing, hardly lending, do consulting, quite a nice clientele for that. But I really wanted to get back on here because I want to see how to flip houses in 3 easy steps. And I hear Joe LaVera has the money that I could use, so I don't have to use that in mine. I'm really interested in how's that work, Joe?
Well, I think you're right next to the bank of Scott Spear, so all you gotta do is reach for his mattress and be careful. You'll pull a muscle in your back because it's filled with money. So there's steps 1, 2, and 3. Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
Brian, it's
well,
been a long time to see you. Great to see you on the call.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. I do miss this, using the network of free. I still promote it heavily. I've sold a few houses and a few places that I've just done wholesaling with on my own. And I tell the people right up front, says, if you don't join the FFREIA group, you're really not going to go anywhere. These are real people with real stuff to do. And I learned a lot, and it helped us a lot. And I said, our business is really so busy that I really haven't really looked into buying any. My favorite thing are the single family homes, which we did really well with. Most of them that we were renting, we ended up turning to mortgage notes that we hold ourselves on them, sold them to the people, and actually like that better because it's actually more money and a lot less headaches. So the business part of that's going well. I said the contracting business is going well, and the rental business is doing well. I do miss seeing you guys though, and that I see it's like Brian Anello's on here, an old customer friend of mine. And I don't see anybody else here I don't recognize, so it's been a while. But us old guys do know how to do things and make money in doing that. Even using the new technologies and that, but with the old-fashioned way of working by the golden rule, which seems to be very successful for us. So
perfect.
Anyway, that's enough about me.
It's good to have you back. You're always welcome. Anytime. Scott,
Thanks,
do you see anybody else who's because I can't really
Matt
tell.
Williams, I think. Matt, are you new?
Yes.
There he is. He's coming on video. You can leave your video on. It's okay.
Okay. Yeah, Joe, I'm the one that we spoke on the phone the other day. So basically my story, I have a 2-unit and a 3-unit in the Park Ave area. I bought those 10 years ago, about kind of haven't made any moves in the last few years. I'm looking to buy a few more. I'd love to do this full time. I self-manage. I talked about looking at the MLS with Joe, and I know that's probably not the best way to purchase right now. So I'm looking for some new perspective. I joined up with you guys yesterday officially. Just
welcome.
Kind of absorb and see what this is about.
That's great. That's right. Sorry, Matt, we talked, was it yesterday or the day before?
Tuesday.
That's right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep.
I told Matt, I said, Matt, if you want to do things the hard way, don't join the group.
Yep.
And, so what impressed me about Matt is that the amount of work and hours that he has to put in, it's got that he's doing already. And I'm like, okay, this guy, he's got what it takes. So that's why I said he's got to be able to get connected. I'm glad to see you here, Matt.
Thank you.
Great.
All right. Jay, I can't tell if you're new or not because you don't have your last name up there.
Not new.
Not new. You can introduce yourself though. Go ahead. I called you out. You may as well introduce yourself.
I'm Jay Molis. I have 17 units, all multifamilies, except for one. One's a single family, but mostly duplexes and tris. We self-manage. Right now we're in a renovation phase, so we're, a lot of windows, a lot of, windows, doors, things like that, getting replaced, and carpets and painting and all that fun stuff. So once I'm done with that, which should be done in the next couple months, then everything should be fully occupied again, and then we'll be, and then everything's good to go.
Perfect. Great.
Excellent.
Good.
All right. Brian, I don't think you're new, but you're the Brian, no, right? Because you don't have your last there. Where's your better half, Brian?
Maybe
Brian might be
muted.
working. He might be in silent mode.
You never know.
Okay.
Never know.
All
We all
right.
say-
Dennis, are you new to the group, Dennis? I don't see a last name up.
Yes. Yeah, I'm new.
Okay, tell us a little bit about yourself, Dennis, how you heard about the group, where you're at real estate wise, and where you'd like to be.
Dennis, I live out in Newfane, New York, out towards Lockport, Buffalo area. I basically, I was on Facebook and I seen that there was, different groups, and I'm just trying to network and get more experience, I guess. I have a couple of properties, but nothing much. So I'm just trying to, get in with other people that have stuff and maybe make some deals happen.
Perfect. Well, welcome,
Good place
Dennis.
to do it.
We're
Welcome.
glad you're here. Great, keep coming back. JD, new or you been on before? And he's
He's
off.
not new. I call him out every time he
Hey,
shows
JD,
up.
Yeah, I think he's been on. Yeah, he's been on.
I usually call him out, but he's late because I was texting him, so it's my fault.
All right, JD, take yourself off and tell us a little about yourself. I know. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry about that.
Those who don't.
It's a little bit of madhouse, but it's cool.
All right. Cool. Yeah, that's it. Other than that thing that keeps popping in on Gabe's screen, I don't know. It's big and hairy. What is that, Gabe? There it is.
My new assistant.
Oh,
Actually, it's
Uh-huh.
oh man.
Good.
All right. So while new
All
people
right.
out of the way.
Go ahead, Joe.
All right, so what we do here real quick, we do what's called, before we get started, we do something called haves and wants. If you're looking for something, let us know. If you got something you want to sell, put it out there. If we don't know what you're looking for, I promise you, you're not going to get a phone call. Okay, so the property that you were looking for, that somebody else did find, which would have been perfect for you, is going to get sent to somebody else. So let us know what you're looking for. Put it out there. Somebody.
Hey everybody. Definitely looking for multi-families, storage, and heck, I'll even take a single family if the deal's right.
All right. Who else?
All right, I'll go. And then Gabe, you can go at the end. Looking for self-storage anywhere in the USA. If the deal works, I'll buy it, pay you a finder's fee, bring you as an equity partner if you want, and just looking for more storage. So that's it for me. Storage is a thing for me. So.
All right.
Everything? You're good, right?
No, I'm very good.
Cool.
All right. Who else?
Joe's laughing.
Hi, Joe, this is Luis. How you doing, Joe? This is Luis and everybody. Hi, Brandy. Hi, Andy. Ken and I are new to the group here, and we've been to a few meetings, and we're looking for our first project. we're all set up to go. We have built a nice back office, and we've been working, meeting people, networking, and I'll be meeting, some of you over time till I get to know virtually everybody. And so we're looking for our first project, preferably a single family home that we can rehab and work from there. So thanks very much for your time.
All right, Louise. Who else?
I'm looking for multifamily, Class B neighborhoods. I love the Park Ave area. Obviously, it's expensive there. Not opposed to suburbs. I love renting out to young professionals. Not opposed to a fixer-upper.
Okay. And Matt, just call you said you'll do doubles and singles, or you're just looking for multis?
I'm not opposed to a single. I mean, I've had luck with multi, but I'm open to it.
Okay. And by the way, for everybody, put your information on the chat in the chat box. So that way we can that way everybody can get a hold of each other. Okay. Who else? It's only 10 more Saturdays till Christmas. What's your Christmas wish list here?
Can I throw my wish list out that I'm just waiting for answers for somebody to actually publish my book for me? I would like that to happen. I'm harassing the crap out of people. That'd be great. I'd like to get money for it, so I don't have to do the self-publishing thing, which is a fast track to loserdom. So yeah.
I can't help you with that one.
Damn it. It is what it is. It's fine.
Just tell Scott Spear to go in his mattress, pull out some money. He'll buy 1 million copies of it tonight.
Perfect. Perfect. I'll take my advance in cash.
Lewis.
I'll put out there for me.
Lewis.
I look for commercial, residential properties, obviously storage. I will do singles, doubles, whatever. I mean, for me, the numbers make sense. I am looking at some industrial real estate also. Not just here locally, but in different parts of the country. My information will be on the chat box, or may have already been put in the chat box. So if you have anything, let me know. And I do get properties because I also wholesale. And so, let me know, call me. Most people know how to get a hold of me pretty simply. So, and I'll let you know if I have anything. Who else?
We have a question for Louise. Where are you looking? You're muted.
I'm looking at greater Rochester area, so like the surrounding counties, nothing specifically. So Sharon and I, my wife and I are doing drive around marketing, looking at places, and sometimes we have a process for sending out cards. And so we have sent out hundreds of cards and some feedback, a few bites, but nothing solid yet. And then I have communicated some of those things that we're not interested in. I have communicated to other folks on this call. So that way, we remain sort of in play, but the contiguous, the greater Rochester area.
Just Monroe County and that surrounding area, and that, not you won't go out to Wyoming or Genesee or Livingston or Orleans County.
I wish I had enough experience to say whether that's good or bad. I just don't know. So I'm staying within the contiguous counties around Monroe County and what's known as the greater Rochester. I think it's 9 counties. So, but I haven't gone to even to Spencerport or out to Newark or anything like that. Just trying to stay. I'm not saying I will turn it down. I just don't have enough experience to say yay or nay at this point, except to examine it and see if that would work for us. So, so we're not saying no. We just don't. I just don't have an informed opinion for saying yes or no. I just have to look at it and decide if it would work, if the numbers would work.
Are you looking for something that you can fix up? Do you have contracting experience, or do you have contractors, or do you looking for a complete fixer upper? Or
the best way to describe it is that it's all on the shelf. It's people that I have met, people that we're still meeting, people that we're trying to meet. So all of those, the answer to all those questions, they're on the shelf, but I can't say that I have employed. Yeah, I mean, I have personal friends that are general contractors who work for us in our personal residence and all that. But it's a continuous, we're in continuous motion to meet people, write down their names if they're interested, look them up if they're interested. And but I can't say that if somebody brought me a really good deal tomorrow, that I would start frantically making phone calls. That's my plan. I mean, of the people that I already met, or the people who are connected to people I've already met. So that's what we're heavily into networking at this point. But the thing that you might say, well, what do you know about any of this? We don't know anything about real estate. It's about that. However, my wife and I both retired from project management in corporate and in multinational corporations. We're used to managing people who manage projects. So I have managed engineers. My wife has managed clinical people. I have managed a whole lot of people whose job I can't do, but I know how to manage their output. And that's how I became successful in corporate life, is knowing how to manage a group of people who have a specific. I'll give you the sexiest project I've had as a consultant. If you ever had a Corona beer or a Modelo beer, I installed a payroll system in Corona Brewing Company in Mexico, all in Spanish. Now ask me, what do I know about the payroll? Nothing. I still don't know anything about payroll, but I know how to manage a group of people who know about payroll, and that includes IT, HR, tax, and government relations, unions, all of that, and then use the payroll. That's what we know how to do.
All right. Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who else has wants? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
I don't know if I'm the last one or well, whatever. I'm gonna go. Hey guys, I'm Gabriel Petros. I want storage. Yeah. I'll do storage too. Anywhere in the United States. Ideally anything above 10,000 square feet, or should say 10,000 above. I work exclusively with Scott Spear, and I guess I'll work with Joe too. But in any event, though, no, seriously, we work together, and so if you have any deals, bring them to me so I can do my due diligence, and Scott and I can look at it. And like you said, we do pay finder's fees, and I'll put my information in the chat box as well to for anyone that might have anything come across anything. Again, anywhere in the U.S., by the way, anywhere. I don't care if it's Alaska. Again, anywhere. If the numbers work, the numbers work. Because at the end of the day, it's all about the numbers and how it works. So, thanks a lot, guys. Thank you.
Perfect. Anyone else?
Yep, this Jay again. This I buy multifamilies, as I mentioned before. Right now I'm doing renovations, so I probably won't start buying more again until January. But I just gotta pouring money into renovations at the moment. So but in January I'll probably, all of my properties are in the city currently. But I'm also potentially looking to pull out, into the just outside of the more rural, try and spread out my my stuff, maybe like Wayne County, some of the surrounding counties a little bit to get a different type of clientele, also kind of mix it up.
Okay, perfect. All right. Anyone else? Everybody's good? All right. We like to keep this interactive. That's what the great thing is about this group. So we never really have a set agenda. So if you have questions on something, whether it be a deal, whether it be about a property, or questions you may have, if we can answer them, we'll definitely do our best. So please don't be afraid to put it out there. Anyone have anything that they'd like to ask? Don't be shy here.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
So next month there's an auction coming up, and I want to know. I've never been to one. I want to know, have any of you guys been to one, and what's that process look like?
Who can answer that for him?
Well, which auction you going to?
The I think the tax foreclosure auction next month.
Okay, I'm not sure how it operates here. I've been to some different auctions, you know, in some other counties, tax auctions, also online auctions and things and stuff. So, you know, I don't know if it's you usually register for the auctions and then you go and you know, they'll bring them up. A lot of times, you know, you want to try and do your due diligence ahead of time for anything that you want to bid on, because you know, you don't want to buy something that you
Be ready to get in a fight with Nunzio. That's all I'm gonna say. Because if they're starting up, he'll be there.
Well, no, he's talking about the big auction, Andy, not the ones.
Okay.
So those, I think, now from what I heard, don't quote me, I heard that it's going to be online this year, which I haven't really, I don't know yet. Don't quote me. I heard it from another investor and I've not had the opportunity to check. I know that there were a bunch of houses on there. And then obviously, you know, again, it just like, you know, yes, definitely do your due diligence on the properties. A lot of times, I've gone to them and the bidding sometimes is so fierce. Over the last few years, there was a guy here. He would end up, him and his uncle would end up buying on an average about 25 to 30 houses every single time that they went to the auctions. And the last few years that they had them prior to COVID and all this other craziness that's been happening, because obviously they weren't really going on, they were only able to buy like 5. Okay. And because the competition was so fierce, and you know, they would spend a lot of time, definitely drive by the properties, be careful, because I mean, some of these places people are living there. Okay. So it's you know, and for me, I've gone there, but I've never purchased a property there because I wouldn't pay the outrageous prices that people were paying at the time. Okay.
A lot of those auctions that they do, like he's talking about there, you have to be really careful about, they have liens on a lot of those properties they don't tell you about. They have auctions. So they're talking about doing due diligence and that. I know one of my customers who I told him not to buy one on the auction did, and it came with a nice $20,000 lien against it. And that just because you're buying at a tax auction does not mean it's free and clear. You have to go to if you got a property that you like Joe said, you go to the county where it's at and ask if there's any liens on it at that time. If not, you could be in for a real nasty surprise. And I've seen it happen firsthand. I haven't done it myself, but I've seen it happen.
Yeah, let me just
last year.
Let me just sort of interject a little bit. I've been to more than 1 or 2 tax auctions here in New York and also in Texas. The couple of key pieces, and Joe Lababera talked about the very one of the key ones, and that is, don't buy anything that you haven't driven past and looked at. I tend not to buy anything that I haven't in some way, shape, or form looked inside of. Now, I'm not going to go through all the pieces of how you get that done. You just have to be very careful. And then the most important piece is, from one tax auction to the next, whether it's the same county or not, things change. You must always read in detail. And that's part of what Brian was actually pointing out, was they're all different. And you need to look at each in detail. Each one of the auctions will have all of the rules, all of the things that you need to cover. And you need to be very, very careful in making sure that you know what the rules are. because it's going to be different in every one of them. In some of the auctions, they say, okay, we wipe out everything else. So, there's no issue about some lien or something else. And other ones, they just state up front, you have to do your own due diligence. And that's the way most of them are, where you have to do your own due diligence. And that can be quite involved. So typically, would never bid on something that I hadn't seen. Although if I sort of date things and I go back to, that was 1997, 98, in that time frame, maybe a little bit later. I knew this particular street and I said, my goodness, maybe I should bid on this particular property, but I didn't see it. But I know what the street is. And this was at the county auction. And so no, correction, it was a city auction. So I actually bid on it, and it was a property. I said, well, it's $1,100. So I bid on it, and I was the only person that bid. And then this person behind me says, well, I wanted to bid too, and you wouldn't let me. So long story short, I got the property for $1,700. And I'm telling you this story because this is the way it used to be. And so basically I drive by the house and I say, wow, that's a decent house. That's a nice house. So I still own that property today. The house right next to it sold for $86,000. And in the last, what was that? That was two years ago. So I went in and did a little bit of a rehab to it. I actually turned around and got a mortgage on it. And it was the type of deals that you used to be able to get. And that's what a lot of people look at trying to do these days. But as Joe Lababera indicated, the competition is very, very tough now. You could go to the auction and you could pay $20,000 for a house that today would be selling for $150,000. But that's not the way it is. So you have to be very, very careful. And I'll stop with my long-winded story around how things happen at auction and give it back over to Mr. LaBarbera. Unless they want to ask questions, of course, I'm more than happy to answer.
Another thing too, and we're not trying to scare people. Look, people have made a lot of money off those tax auctions, buying properties there. Driving by it and taking a look at it and trying to get in legally, whatever. Quick 12-second story. I know a woman who wanted to surprise her husband, bought a house over there. I think she paid somewhere around 40. They went into the house, the whole house, the foundation was caving in. She couldn't sell the house. And that was a good chunk of their money, because the outside looked pretty decent, but you definitely want to drive by. And a lot of these guys who buy these properties, they start in advance. And then you also got to know too, is that some of these people right up until that day, they may come up with the money. And then, you did all that work, took all that time for that property, and it may not even be getting auctioned off. Okay. And then
JD, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
It's all right. And then having and if it is occupied, and then having the conversation when you knock on the door saying, hey, I know you've been living here for all this time. You've been working your butt off. You've been struggling really, really hard, and you've been under immense pressure. I am now your new owner. So that's a whole other conversation for all, so there's a delicate balance. Okay. We're not trying to sway you, just trying to give you everything that could possibly happen, stuff that we've seen. There's millions of stories.
No, that's awesome. Thank you.
JD,
Want to go to
don't,
the auction?
don't be scare you away from doing that. You know, you still, like Joe said, you can make money there. Just go in with your eyes open. And like Joe said about the foundation thing there, a quick drive by, or like Leon said, I've been that way for years. If I can't put my hands on it or go look at it, I'm not interested at all in that. But you need to be able to look from the street if you can't get in there, be able to look for what we call the sore thumb. I teach my clients, Brian Anello will tell you, he's one of my guys there. I teach guys how to do that just from driving by the streets, and that you can get an idea what the foundation and that's like. But like I said, don't be afraid to go do that. If you find a property that you really like, you know, just check it out. So don't let us scare you away, because there's a lot of people out there that the naysayers and that, and you'll never make any money if you don't do that. You know, sometimes the best experience is buying something and falling down and getting hurt, and you'll learn from that. You'll learn more from that than from the super sweet deals and that. So anyways, I'm babbling, but just, you know, just go in with your eyes open. Don't be afraid to even ask some of the guys in this network group here to buy them lunch or buy them a dinner or something to go look at a house with you. I still have clients of mine that do that. They'll tell me to just drive by a house and just give them an honest opinion of it and that. And
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
so
I mean,
And one more thing for you, JD, is that if sometimes these people have already been approached by other people, and and this happens all the time, especially at the auctions. People will be like, "Hey, Joe, do you know about this house?" Or, "Hey, Tom, did you see this house?" And then one of them will have seen them, because if 9 times out of 10 they've already been contacted by somebody possibly within this group.
Yeah.
And maybe they were in the house already, or maybe they've talked to them and gotten the backstory. And that's happened a lot. Where I've seen, like my buddy Tom, it was a couple of houses he was looking at, and he happened to tell me, and I go, "Oh my God, I know those houses." I go, "Don't buy that house, buy this house. This one, don't pay more than that." And and he had no idea. Okay, so don't be afraid if you find a house. Don't think, "Oh, if I'm going to talk to somebody, they're going to steal it." We don't do that here. I'm just telling you, you got connections here within this group. There's over 200 people within this group. Use it to your advantage. Okay.
It's just a real quick story to back up what Joe just said. There was somebody who approached Sharon and me about were we interested in buying a house, and we called Joe, and Joe said, "Oh, let me show you the pictures of the inside of that house." So Joe over there had pictures of the inside of the house, and we said, "No, we're not interested." So that was within the group, and it was the whole thing was done in like one day. You know, that's the kind of trust and information that we have available in this group, which is, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, awesome. I can't remember what house that was. Wasn't that like last week or something? I think
that was about a month ago. There was a guy from New York City who was trying to wholesale that house to us, and then so we called you, and he said, "Oh, I was in that house," and they had
the one on Lyle Avenue.
Right, where the ceiling had caved in from the wall.
Oh, yeah. I've been in that house.
It could go on and on.
Yeah.
You photographed the inside the house, so I didn't need to see anything.
Okay, I remember that. Yeah. Okay. So JD, hopefully we didn't scare you.
No fear over here. I still got to go get my feet wet and kind of see what's going on there. So whether I'm leaving or not, I'm leaving when.
JD, did you get paid yet?
Yes.
Good. Just checking. Got to watch that first check.
I actually had to go and finish up drywall, and I had a plumber come out because one of the hot water pipes busted. So learning some early lessons already.
Oh, Jesus.
And it was like nothing the tenant did. It was literally just the month I've been having. Like, cool. Just pipe bust.
Oof.
Do what you do and I'll fix it.
It happens.
Yeah.
So, and by the way, anyone else? By the way, don't be afraid to speak up. Anybody else? Anyone else have questions, things you want to add? Put it out there. Everybody's good with that?
If they do have the auction, JD, if you're not buying, you should just go check it out. You also get to network with people and all that. You'll run into some people you know there.
Yeah. Bring cards.
Live auction.
Bring a lot of cards with you.
Business
and
cards.
take phone numbers.
All right, I gotta get on making some new cards.
It's $19. Go get it done tomorrow.
Okay, sir. Hey, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go back to daddy duty.
All right. all right.
Okay, yeah, we seen your kid popping in there. All right, catch you
Thank
later.
you.
AJD.
So, there's again, we like to keep this live interactive. Some of the things that we can talk about, because look, we all get phone calls, and a lot of times for myself, I try to gear these Zoom meetings toward basically people calling me and questions people have been asking. And, some of the things, obviously people are freaking out because there's literally 11 Saturdays till 2023. Okay. So like, oh my God, I got to find a house. I got to find, the whole thing, and then there's also people who are doing, the end of the year push, and they want to figure out what's going on for 2023. And then more than anything else, prices and where things are going to be heading. And then I also have a couple of stories that's going to make Scott Spear and Gabe a little upset at me. I know that caught Scott's attention. That had to do with a storage unit that happened to me today, which makes me sick to my stomach. And
you got to start with that story. You're gonna leave me hanging. No way.
Caused me to.
Well, actually, you know what? This story actually relates to not only storage, but also to single family, double. It's just to residential all the way across the board. Okay. And I'll tell you the story first, and because it drives me freaking crazy. So I looked back in April. I had called on a storage facility. It was 124 units or 144 units, whatever. I called the lady up, asked if she wants to sell. No. Did I tell you she said no? Yes, she said no. Well, I said, you know what? I said, I figured I'd follow up with her maybe in a couple of months, and I didn't follow up with her until today. I called her up. I said, you know what? I'm going to call her. Called her up, and she goes, I'm sorry, we're going to contract. And I was like, and I told her, I go, look, when I talked to her back in April, I said, if things change, I gave her my number, I gave her my name, I gave her my website. And I had to ask her, I go, okay, you don't have to tell me what you're selling it for. Just give me a range. So that way I can figure out, because I told her, I said, look, I'm going to be, at least that way I can gauge yours up against some of the other properties, some of the other storage facilities in that town. So I can use yours as a temperature gauge. And, which can also work when you're talking to people about residential properties. Give me a ballpark as far as what you're selling it for, because I'm also looking at other properties in the area. So I can use it, to compare it against. As well, $1.2 to $1.5 million. So what's the moral of that? Follow up. And at that time, she was
Would you have paid that, Joe?
What?
Would you have paid that? What she says she's getting it for?
I didn't get the numbers, but I think it was 144 units, and it was on I think it was on 11 point something acres, 100% full, and she was only using 3 acres of the 11 acres, and she's always been full. Makes me sick. Look at Scott's laughing over there. I know he's taking it to the camera.
Is that the one in South Carolina, Joe?
No, it's a different.
Scott bought it. Joe, Scott bought that one.
I wanted to find out. I wanted to ask, but she didn't want to get too crazy. I wanted to find out. This is somebody I know. I'm gonna throw up right over the phone with her. Okay, because all I kept thinking was, I'll bet Scott or Gabe or somebody within our group that we know is probably, because I go, hey, how did you go to contract? You know, what happens? Listen to a real estate agent? She goes, no, they called me. I'm like, oh. So they're out of state. They called, they followed up with her, and they've already negotiated, and they're going to contract. Which,
Yeah, Scott was in Colorado when he called her.
Yeah.
He was out of state.
so
Well, she said going to contract. She's
That's
not
what I
under
heard, too.
contract.
I tried. She goes, no, we've been working on this for weeks.
Just give me her number.
Well, I told her, I go, look, if anything happens, anything, I don't care if they don't even cross a T or dot an I, call me. And so moral of the story is, especially right now, and a lot of people are like, especially over the last couple of years, I mean, the market's switching and market's changing over. But it's like, okay, everyone's been having difficulty finding properties. Everyone's been getting, more and more follow-ups. And then, of course, my schedule, which is a bull crap excuse. Okay. I should always be doing follow-ups, and everyone's trying to find these great deals, and I'm sure these people weren't paying. And I asked her if it was a REIT or a big company. She goes, no, it was just an individual that's buying it. So Scott, Gabe, we all know that it's not going to be just somebody paying at a 4 cap or a small 5 cap. And she's had this place for a very, very long time.
Joe, just
Yeah.
tell her you'll give her $5,000 more than the offer that was made.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do.
I wish.
Don't wish, Joe, do.
Yeah. I tried. So bottom line is that, I got so aggravated, so angry at myself, because I'm going, I lost out on a deal. And I thought about calling her last month, and she goes, we've been talking for the last few weeks, and we're literally going to contract. And I'm like going, okay, that's some pretty fast due diligence or who knows what. But what I ended up doing was, there was another lady that I called previously before.
What's that, Andy?
Wait, what was that?
What's Andy got there?
Nothing. Somebody was pointing at me while I was opening my bottle of scotch, so I had to hold it up.
Oh my God.
It's the Balvenie 14 Caribbean cask. It's very good.
It looks like it's getting empty pretty fast there, Andy.
I don't know what you're talking about. That would
Is this
never
an
happen.
intervention?
I swear I'm not Irish at all.
Yeah. So basically,
Andy, do you need alcohol to deal with us?
Maybe.
yeah. So basically, whether you're dealing in storage, whether you're dealing in commercial, big stuff, small stuff, following up right now is super, super huge. And, what I ended up doing was I ended up actually calling, there was another storage facility also in North Carolina who said the exact same no to me. She was dead set against selling it. They were in the process of putting in another 20 units for their building. They've had it for I don't know, 30 plus years, 70 years old. I called her today, and she goes, if the guy who's been working on who's been helping us with our property, his name is Phil, if he ends up walking away from what we're doing, he goes, I will definitely be calling you to see about selling. And I didn't get into prices with her. I kept it very nonchalant, whatever. But that was, it really sparked, kicked my ass as far as for making sure that I do follow-ups. And I mean, I've been doing that with the residential, but not as, I haven't been as good on doing it on the storage facilities, which in this case, 7.5 figure deal, because I didn't pick up the freaking phone. Okay. So what's the moral? Everybody here better be following up. I don't care if you're doing $5,000 houses or $2 or $3 million commercial deals, $5 million commercial deals. Okay. I am like still sick about it, even just thinking. I think this is therapy for me. I don't know if I should be paying everybody to listen to me right now. But
Therapy. Randy, are you there with Joe?
no,
No, I'm right here.
Oh, you're like. Can't believe it, dude. Really? You're of all people. How many Saturdays has it been since April?
Uh-oh.
a lot. Too many. What is too many?
24 Saturdays since last April. You're always calling out the Saturdays.
I know.
We're all guilty of it. We've all done it. Don't worry about it. You know, but
God,
when a
makes me
wholesaler
sick.
calls me to sell it to me and wants a $50,000 wholesale fee, I'll call you and let you know about it.
I was literally going to call you, and I was going to say,
Won't that be something?
I was going to say, Scott, you get this thing, but I'm going to, oh my God, all I kept thinking was Scott's going to get this deal. Scott and Gabe are going to get this deal. They're going to make a $50,000 to $100,000 assignment fee on this, or this place is probably worth around $2 million.
No, nowhere near it.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
I don't call on your deals. When you call me about them, Joe, I certainly don't follow up with them a call, but yeah, I just make you sick. But if I know, keep an eye on the Facebook posts and stuff like that. I bet you anything a wholesaler is going to put it up there and try to
I know.
wholesale it out.
I know I'm gonna be sick, but that was my fault. It was a very expensive, extremely expensive lesson. So basically I broke out with all my, because I'm old school. I keep everything on tablets. So I have like a bunch of tablets I filled out. I just go through them. I make notes, go through, make notes. I just call, and we've been doing that on houses. So I'm going to bring that back to a house that we're looking at in the 19th ward. We've been following up with her for about 7 months on a monthly basis. And we're going to be getting into that house in November. Okay. Now, if we get that property, we figure profit potential will be somewhere on the low end, 30, on the higher end, about $55,000. Okay. All from simply just keep calling and just saying, hey, what's going on? Just letting you know I'm still here. I don't want them thinking I'm sitting there waiting for them. I'm just letting them know, say, hey, listen, I'm just touching base with you. We finished with another project. I don't want them thinking that I'm just going to be there waiting for them and letting all these other deals go by. So that way, when they're finally ready, they can jack up the price. Okay. So don't, if you're doing that way, make sure you do it in a way you're not a pain in the neck, but you're not looking desperate either. Okay. And Scott, I think you guys froze over there. I don't know if you can even hear us anymore. Oh, there you go.
Just ignoring you. You kept blah, blah, blah. And I was just doing something important. I don't know.
Yeah, I get it.
He's looking up the lady's phone number.
I was actually looking through my notes from when you and I talked in April. And I'm looking at my notes here, and in March and April, we talked about, let's see, right here, Joe Lavabera, 325 at 3 p.m. Half Moon self-storage in Mechanicsville, New York. We talked about one at 814 South Main Street in Mocksville, North Carolina. And then there was one in 1528 University.
No,
Parkway.
this one is on Churchill in Macon, North Carolina. Macon, North Carolina.
Churchill, Macon, North Carolina. Okay, I'll
Churchill
keep it on
Road.
Facebook post.
If you see Churchill Road in Macon, North Carolina, I know you're going to call me up at 1 o'clock in the morning just to rub it in my face, and I deserve it. It's I don't know what it's even called.
Tennessee, though.
Yeah.
Right, Gabe? Is that Churchill, Tennessee, that one?
Yeah, Churchill, Tennessee.
Yeah. Piece of land.
It's so crazy that this group out of Rochester has tentacles all over the country. Just this small group.
I mean, let's be honest. New York didn't really give people any choice. If they wanted to make money, they had to branch out. Just saying. The last 3 years have sucked.
Yeah.
Sorry. Well, and by the way, if people have questions, and what do you especially if you have for follow-ups or some of the things that you had to deal with, let us know, because we all learn here from each other.
Okay, Corey put something in the chat. Corey, is your microphone working or still out? If I don't hear from you, it means still out. Okay, in the chat, I'll read it. Hello, everybody. I can't get my microphone to work, unfortunately, but I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Corey. I'm 23 and I'm trying to save up to invest in some properties in the future. In the meantime, I'm beginning to get into wholesaling and would love to learn what type of properties everyone is looking for. I appreciate being able to listen into the conversation. So, and then Andy wrote, "Hey, Cody, you came in a bit late, but full of people looking for single family, over 10,000 square feet. If you get a contract, there's a buyer on the call. As long as the numbers work. The numbers are most important right now, more important than they've been in over 3 years. So that's it, Corey. If you got a deal, you got a buyer here for sure. Doesn't matter what kind of property it is. If you get property under contract, if the numbers are right, you got a buyer. My brother and I will buy. Go ahead, Brian.
And just don't buy blindly though. And prices are way up in that, and the margins are a lot more razor thin these days, especially if you have to do something to it. Wholesaling is different than that, but still you're going to wholesale to somebody like myself or one of the other people in here. And anybody's got any knowledge can look at a property and kind of ballpark what it's going to take to fix it up and that. So it's more important than ever, especially with the housing prices are definitely falling back down. The mortgage rates going back up. The real estate people are saying there's going to be a pretty hard crash next year, and that what happens in the elections. We can only hope something good comes out of it, but we won't get into that part of it. Let's just move on. But things could be very disastrous in the retail end of it, for flipping houses. But the upside to that is the rental market will be stronger because people won't be able to afford buying these new houses. And that I am seeing some of the properties that I've sold and I'm holding notes on. I look and see what the average rents are in the places, and they've just skyrocketed, and there's still demand for them. I still get people calling me asking if I have properties for rent out here in the country, and that like where Joe doesn't like to be, because we got cows and horses and chickens and bobcats and bears and all that stuff, and none of that stuff that he likes. But anyways, just be careful. So
and well, Brian, you brought up a really great subject, because prices have been dropping, and a lot of people, especially some of the newer people, I've been seeing a lot of them get in trouble, and they're not taking
upside down in a hurry.
Yeah,
get upside down in a hurry. We've got a couple flippers that we're doing some stuff for that. When I came in and looked at it, says, "What were you thinking?" I said, "You're going to have over retail into this with what we get done fixing the foundation problems and the roof problems." And I said, "You'll never be able to get that money out of it, even in the hot market." So you got to be, sometimes it's worthwhile to spend some money for somebody who knows that stuff. You talk to Joe and give him a finder's fee or whatever. Hey, come look at this house. Tell me what you think it's going to cost to fix it up. Spending $100 with him is certainly a lot safer than losing $10,000 or $20,000, or losing your shirt, or losing your better half because you're out of money. So, and Andy can relate to that also, with being with the things that he's at and seeing what happens with the supply things and that. It's just one of those things that most of these people who get into it these days, the new guys, don't ever take that into account. The holding costs.
The new guys have never had to deal with the market the way it is. I remember switching over from 84 to Home Depot. I left in September of 07 and went to Depot in September of 07. Like, I left 84 and started it on Monday, and I started at Depot on Friday of the same week, and just watched everything collapse. Like, there was a reason I was trying to leave 84, being a commission sales guy doing new construction houses in freaking Victor. And none of these, I call them kids, but none of these people have seen what is coming. It's gonna suck.
Yeah, but it's going to be a lot of
opportunity. Yeah, you
Oh,
bring up a
yeah.
real good thing, Andy. I know one of the things I watch is mortgage applications and that, and how many people are backing out. And there's housing developments in the Buffalo, Lockport, Rochester area that are actually being stopped worked on because people are backing out of the deals already.
Yep. Yep.
You know,
Cancellations are way up
so
across
that's
the
kind of-
country.
Again, not being a naysayer. Yeah, it's not being a naysayer. You just have to be smarter about business. And I think actually, if you wait even just like 4 or 5 weeks, housing prices are really going to drop on everything.
Oh yeah.
Right,
And
building-
that's not all. Jamie Dimon and a couple of other people in the last week have come out and been like, yeah, get ready, buckle up. Stocks have another 20 to 30% to drop. There ain't no dip.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Right. I was watching Jeremy Siegel. He's a professor that I've been watching for years, a professor of economics at Wharton School. And he said a couple of days ago, he said housing prices will fall 10 to 15%. So if I saw a deal now, I would have to bake that into the numbers that it'll fall. For example, the house directly across the street from me went for sale in April, and in one day it was bid up from $495 to $650 in one day. Okay, so the people settled at $631 for sale because that's all the bank would allow for the mortgage. That house is not worth $631. There's no way. I mean, I'm looking at it and say that house. It's already those people took at least $50,000 hit, and they just moved in.
Yep.
So there's more of that to come before things kind of hit some kind of a stable ground, but not yet.
Yep.
But everybody, we're not trying to scare everybody on here. It's just you got to be able to use this information.
This is your springboard for opportunity to make millions, quite honestly.
And
This coming collapse
definitely.
is going to be a huge opportunity for anybody who's prepared.
And Rochester made the list earlier this week. There was a list of 92 cities to invest in. In the country. Rochester came in third.
Yep. And Moody's has Rochester pending 15 to 25% price decrease.
Yeah.
So that makes it very ripe because of the cost of housing is so low. It's very, very easy to get into. It also is part of the reason why there's so much competition for everything in Rochester, because it is a low barrier to entry.
It is, but you need to make sure that you're buying things appropriately, not just, willy-nilly. Because there's a guy, tons of people over the last, month, they'd be like, well, Joel, you can buy this house for this price for $80,000. And the house down the street sold for $130,000. It only needs $15,000 worth of work. I'm like, yeah, but it sold for $130,000 when interest rates were like nothing. Now they're 7 and change. So there's still some of these people are still using the old comps, and you can't do that. So you have to, and I don't care if you're doing it in the city, suburbs, wherever. You need to take that into account. I mean, who else is going through that? Anyone else?
Oh, yeah, it's, we see it. I have an opportunity to buy a couple of firehouses and that, and I'm just talking with my guys about it, and it's the same thing. I have that program, Joe, that I've told you about, that I get in with the bank thing, so I know what a house will sell for. So you got kind of an inside market there, and they're forecasting that same thing, that 15 to 30% drop, and so it makes a difference in when you buy a house. And it's just numbers, like everybody says, but the numbers are going to be very, very tight here for the next few months, if not next year. So you have to be really sharp about it. What's going to happen is, like we've seen before, Andy, you're talking about back in 2007, is you get all these hot shots that get in that want to flip houses and use other people's money and all that, and get in way over their heads. And then we buy it for pennies on the dollar.
Yep.
We have
Burr method needs
the
to
smarter
be
guys. Yeah, because we've gotten burned a couple times, so from experience in that. And so, like I said, it's not that you can't buy now. It's just you really gotta be sharp with the pencil.
Yep. The Burr method is great on paper, but when we're talking about another 2.5% to the interest rates as they stand now by March of next year, it's gonna you need your numbers to really, really, really work, because if they don't, you're upside down quick.
Yep.
And people are still making money on flips. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Still are.
They're
I don't
just
wanna
they're
be
just
all
not getting
petty.
$70,000 above asking anymore.
Nope.
Right.
No, and I mean, I know guys that have like 14, 15, 16 flips going on at once, and I'm like, there's no way I would be doing that right now. No way. You know, and so I'd rather do what I did last time when the economy was starting to waver, and it served me well, and that's exactly what I'm sticking to. So
I was talking with a realtor today. She's listed a property, it's renting for 1,600 a month. She listed it for 164,000. When the market was hot, she get offers up into 200 for the same house. She got one offer for 140. They took a house off the market.
Wow.
That's in
Yeah.
Rochester.
Yep.
yeah,
So,
Believe it.
so yeah, don't like everybody's saying, don't be scared. If you're new, don't be scared. This is perfect time. It really is. It's going to scare a lot of people out. You're sitting in a good position. Just have your money ready. That's the thing. When a deal comes along, like if you have a deal, you'll find the money. Trust me.
Yep.
Call Brian,
There's-
call me, call Joe, call Andy, call anybody. I mean, Carl Weeks. I'm just kind of running down the names. I mean, Leon, if he's still on, if the deal works, you'll find the money. I mean, for sure.
FOMO is your enemy right now. You're better off missing out for the next 3 to 6 months. Don't jump and bite if you're not 100% sure on the numbers, because if you move now, you're going to lose your ass. There's a good chance. So
That's
the
what-
numbers have to be
that's what I
rock
was-
solid, and you have to be baked in with what's coming.
I mean, you know, Luis had a call on a house, and I talked to the guy last week, and it was a house that the guy owned since 1968, and it was an area that it was a D type area, not the suburbs, so it wasn't for him. I said, let me go take a look at it, and the guy originally was like, well, you know, I'd like to get 35 or whatever. And I couldn't even offer anywhere near that. I told him, listen, I'll do 20,000, you know, and I've got people who are looking for single family houses, but they're like, nope, because the place just needed way too much work. Could it be worth fixed up
Right.
$60,000 to $70,000 after you get it rented and everything? Possibly, but too many people right now are being way too picky. So for me, I'm just, you know, I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'm not doing it. A lot of people were trying to get the home, you know, trying to get when the times were great, people were like, well, you know, if I make $10,000, that's fine, you know, because they knew they would at least make that. Now to have that tight of, to be that tight with properties, no way. You know, for me, if I'm not getting at least to third base or home run, I don't want to screw around with it. That's me.
Right.
Doesn't mean it may not work for you.
Joe will take it for half. Whatever the
take it
number
for
is, cut it in half, and he'll take it.
My offer is 4 letters, HALF. That's what it is. Oh, man.
All right. So new people, what do you got? Now we probably scared you all to death. Half of you dropped off. Sorry.
They're all
What
crapping
questions
their
you guys
pants. They're
got?
like, what is going on?
Yeah. One thing I will say, Carl Weeks is excellent. If you're looking at a property, and you're not sure if the numbers work or whatever, give Carl a call. Yeah, he's going to charge you a little bit, but trust me, like they said, 100, 200 bucks is well worth losing. You know, I'd rather spend 100, 200 bucks than to lose 10, 20,000. Carl Weeks is excellent at it. Carl, you're still doing that service, right?
Yeah. So let me just unplug. Thanks. Let me begin first. It's been a while since I've seen Brian, the Spear brothers together in one spot. This is awesome. You guys are great. It's been many years. Phenomenal. But yes, part of what I do, especially if you're starting out and you're new to it, and you know that first deal or second deal is scary, right? It's like, oh, how do I know what I'm doing? I mean, it's like paralysis of analysis, right? So I help you with that. I get you through the process of evaluating the property in terms of not what's happening now, but what's going to be happening 3 and 5 and 8 years from now in terms of cash flow. That's my specialty, and I still do that. So if you are in that market of you're beginning and you need help with that pre-purchase consultant position, that's what I do. Yeah, thank you. I do that.
Cool. All right, new guys, you got any questions? Even old guys, you got questions? We're just gonna sit here in awkward silence until somebody asks a question. Okay, go ahead.
I do, and I do gotta say one thing, if you don't mind. Andy is spot on. We are in a very, not to scare anybody away, but we are in a very risky, high risk environment in terms of real estate. Let's be real. I'm being realistic. It is high risk. There's many factors that's unknown thrown us into different directions, right? So due diligence is paramount at this point. Wholesaling, yes, you still make deals, but the numbers really need to be looked at closely and realistically. Again, there's many different factors that's being thrown at this risk dynamic. Pay attention to that. Frankly, myself and many others I'm on the sideline. I'm on the sideline, kind of observing and waiting to see what the political climate is going to be doing and the financial markets are going to be doing. We're at this point where it's unknown, frankly. But the right deal comes along, you do due diligence, and the numbers work, as Joe is saying, move forward. But be careful.
I had a question for the group concerning seasonality and marketing. I have a marketing budget and I'm using it, on a monthly basis. And now we're heading into Thanksgiving and Christmas. So if my wife was here, she's busy on another call, but if she was here, she would say we shouldn't spend any money now because nobody's going to look at our marketing materials because they're busy, getting ready for Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas, and just put it on the shelf until January. Now, I've heard both sides of the equation. I've heard that when somebody needs to sell their house, it doesn't matter what time of the year it is, and we would have to be there to address that. And on the other hand, I've heard, you're just wasting your time. And marketing people always tell you to market all the time, whereas in fact, it's counterproductive to spend money at this time of the year, specifically on this product. And obviously, we're not selling toys for Christmas. We're trying to buy and sell, housing. So what do you guys think? I'm just curious as to your perspectives on this topic about the seasonality of this business, if there is any.
Who wants to answer that?
Well, I can say on a rental side, the pandemic completely shifted seasonality because of this whole eviction deal. So what used to be like April to November, December for a leasing season is now like you just take them as they come because there's so many looking that you just do. Is that going to change in the future? Probably, as things settle down and all these, transients and whatever find housing, but there's a huge influx of Ukrainians into Rochester right now. And if you can't find a local or somebody moving in for work in the suburban market, you'll get a Ukrainian in there fast and they have the money to pay the bill. So it's a little weird, but that's what I'm seeing on the ground over in Webster. So
I think Joe's situation here, he's talking about losing that storage unit. If people don't know that you're there looking to buy houses or do houses and that, how are you going to get any business? And I mean, I don't advertise even for our contracting business. We got so much word of mouth. We're lucky in that way, but we've been at it a long time. But like what you guys are trying to do, you're looking for other people to sell houses to you or buy houses or whatever. They have to know you're there. Joe does a great job of advertising with Joe Buy Houses. Billboards. I remember he had one time outside of Rochester. I had friends of mine say, hey, do you know that guy and that? What I'm getting at is the surest way to not do business is to have people not know that you're interested in doing business. So if you got, if you're sending out cards and all that, but again, you could cut back a little bit, but there's still, like Andy said, and there's always people who are buying houses and always selling houses. It's just a question of how much you want to pay and do to do that. And that's if you sit by this. What's that, Leon? I'm sorry.
I was going to say that I think that what you're talking about is brand awareness. We're new in this, so people don't know we exist. And not to start an argument with my wife, but I think that we should continue to market. She thinks that we should, just put it on the shelf for a couple of months and then start up again in January. And, it's all budget related. And the point is that, I hear your point. Is it Brian? I hear your point that if they don't know we exist, then what's the point? They're going to sell to somebody else.
Yeah.
So that's
Squirrel moment for you, Luis. How long you been married?
51 years.
Congratulations. I've been 45.
Right.
I do that by listening to your wife sometimes. So be careful.
We
met in high school when we got married.
Luis,
let me just interject for a second here. I think that they're both right. I think that what needs to happen is you always want to continually advertise for all the reasons that was just brought up. You need to advertise. And I think, to your wife's point, I think that one of the things that I would be suggesting is that you don't do any large level of advertising where you're gonna put out a fairly large number of pieces for people to know, okay, here's what I do and where I am and those sorts of things, and I'm looking for da. You just need to be a little bit more cautious and don't do some specialized advertising during the time period that she's talking about, because I think that's right on point. They're both right. It's just that you've got to do it with a little bit of more moderation. Now, that's my view. Joe Lababera probably has a different approach.
Well, for me, you got to remember too, is that when you're trying to buy properties at wholesale prices or something, there's a problem. And when people have problems, they don't care if it's winter, summer, spring, or fall. They don't care if it's morning, noon, or night. You got to get it. They want it solved. And in the winter, it's even worse because number one, the market slows down even more. And, for me, I never stop advertising because no matter what, even if people stay, whatever I do today won't show up for 30, 60, 90 days. Okay. And if you're flipping, you're 4 to 6 months out. So I take that into account. So if you're just going after people who don't have problems, who just maybe want to sell, maybe people have owned their properties for 30 years, with high equity, it's a little bit different. If you're going after people who have issues, whether tax foreclosure, whatever, government tax liens, whatever it is, those people are looking for somebody like you. They're looking for people in this group.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
definitely agree.
People buy solutions, so you're very right, Joe. That's what people are looking for, solutions, even, and that's
everybody,
even more so.
Yeah, I mean, look, everybody is right. It just depends on, on what you're looking for.
By the way, just among us girls here, there is a marketing effort that we're going to undertake, and that's why this question came up. Do we do it now or do we wait? And so it looks like we're going to wait for this particular marketing effort that we're going to do effective January. And it's never been done before. It's a brand new way to advertise. And it was created by a very ingenious guy right here in Rochester. And so I've known about this for a few years because we've been friends, this guy and I. And when we launch it, which will be for sure in January, maybe a little sooner, but for sure in January, you will see something that you've never seen before. And I'm so excited. I can't wait to show it to you, like the real deal. Here it is. And it's never been done before. It's completely, that's the word, copyrighted. All the big tech is after him for that. They have tried literally to steal his ideas away, but he's got it locked down with patents because of the process necessary to do this kind of advertising. So I'm just busting at the seams to show it to you guys so you see how it works. And I certainly hope that it propels what we're trying to do. As far as brand awareness, and it's really what it's for.
Well, it's only 11 more Saturdays, so it'll.
So I have to hold my breath until then. I can make it.
Oh, I think he's excited about this.
Yes, you might notice.
I think so. It's good.
It's just that I've had
Fantastic.
I'm Cuban, so I've had 5 double espressos today, so I'm all hyped up, right?
Oh my God, there you go.
I have.
So, anybody else have questions? Any new people here? Don't be afraid to speak up. Or even add on to what Luis was asking.
You know, in my case, interject real quick, you know, marketing and what have you, I think I like to, I mean, I'm on the commercial side, but what I do is like, I use the time for the holidays to, not to catch up, because I'm not behind. I don't want to see that, but I like to take the opportunity to generate as many leads as possible so that come January 1, January 2, I can just blast off and market the hell out of everyone and just call like an idiot more so in the first quarter of the year than anywhere else, because, you know, people don't really care about buying or selling. Let me rephrase that. People don't focus on storage facilities, in my case, you know, as far as selling them in that time of the year, because they do have families, and a lot of them are, for lack of a better term, all set with their finances. Most of them are, you know, I mean, it's a different animal if I'm sounding right at all. But I also, another approach you can be is like, just say that, okay, you got November, December. Okay, now hunker down, work on your generating leads and marketing. And then come January 2, like I said, just blast off and boom. And then you'll see it all open, the floodgates will just open up more. That's just my take on it.
Yeah, no, that's a great way to be.
That's a good take.
That's a great way to be, Gabe, you know, and some of these people, remember at the end of the year, what's everybody do? Oh, I want a new beginning. I want to do this. Okay, I need to move. I want to do this, or have a property. I want to just get rid of it. I need a fresh start. So January 1st, you know, but everybody markets differently. Everybody on here is right. Nobody's wrong, you know. But you know, for me, I just market all the way through. But that's just me. That's because what I do is a little bit different than what most other people do here.
First rule of marketing is to understand your target client, where money is changing hands. Nobody else matters. If there's no money in the deal, they're not your client, whether you're paying them or whether they're paying you. If they don't have money, don't talk to them. So if you understand who your client is and the type of business you're going after, you target your marketing based on their schedule, not yours.
Yeah. Any questions, anybody? I know we're just about time to wrap up over here, but I'll hang out for a few more minutes. I don't know if Scott's going to be around or what you guys have going on over there.
I'll hang out. Yeah.
You know,
We're stuck way out here in the stick, Joe. We're not going to go
That's
anywhere.
right. Yeah.
who knows? Well, listen, for those of you who have to go, because we want to respect everybody's time. Thank you for joining. We're going to hang out for a few more minutes and just talk and go over a few things if you want. But if you have questions, go on to the website. Thank you very much for joining us. If you have to go, have a great night and go do real estate.
All right,
Everyone.
thanks, everybody. Now the magic happens. Now people ask questions. Either that or Joe, Gabe, and Andy and I sit here and rip on each other. So you have a choice. You talk
Scott,
real estate or you
Could
watch
really
us
go either
monkeys.
way.
Scott, when are you leaving? How long are you here for?
I was trying to get rid of you already.
Wow.
No,
When are you leaving?
no, we're supposed
When
to
are
get
you
together.
leaving? You've been here long enough.
No,
Stop taking
I was
my
asking
time.
because I know we wanted to get together
Hey,
for lunch.
Joe, I just happen to be leaving tomorrow. I'm going to Churchill Road, Macon, North Carolina. I'm gonna
Oh,
see if I can
God.
put something together down there, you know? So
Oh,
Already booked our tickets. Scott.
Just following up the lead.
just following up on a lead I got from somebody.
he's sick. Ah,
Yeah. Hey, Joe,
No,
here
it's
it
not.
is. $250,000 wholesale fee. You want it?
ah. It's, oh my God. You know, what's so crazy is that when I was doing a deal, we lost out on a $10,000 assignment fee. Whatever, that I can get over, no problem. I don't think about it. This, it just drove me crazy because not the assignment fee, it was just because I wanted to get something there, $1.5 million, $2.5 million deal. Just freaking drives the crap out of me. Oh, but I'm
Not
sure
that
you'll
far,
get-
Joe. You could just drive down there.
What?
It's a 12-hour trip, right?
Something like
Go
that.
down there
Yeah.
with a contract in hand.
Oh, man, I knew I said, man. And then I kept thinking, well, as soon as I talk about this, Scott's like, oh, yeah, I got that under contract. I want to just be like, oh,
No.
man.
No, not at all.
So listen, Scott, I wanted to I was going to call you to get together with you and Gabe and stuff, but I didn't know how long you're going to be here and what's here for.
Yeah, heading out next week, Wednesday. Finally.
Really?
Yes.
No, just an announcement. There was a fellow at last week's at Ferrari's, a young kid named Tim Odell. Did anybody meet a very young kid named Tim Odell?
Yep, Tim's doing the beers and
Thank you. Can you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just going to announce that Tim is doing a get together. It's called Pints and Properties on Saturday, November 5th at what's it called? Is it the Distillery in Winton Road?
yeah, it's the distillery. I'm over the distillery, have been for years, but it's a good starter. Pints and Properties it's a national org that's not affiliated with National Real Estate Investors, but Jake talked to Tim pretty extensively, and they're looking to tie in with FFREIA in some fashion over the next couple months. So it'll be
Okay.
good.
Okay, so you know all about this, and if you can go ahead and talk about it. All I have is the flyer, so that's all I know.
Yeah, they're not like, they don't get discounts. They're not, it's basically, it's a real estate company with a bunch of fat cat investors who are just looking to branch out so they can get people into their network and help themselves make money. So it's one of those networking groups. It all sounds good on paper, but looking at their website, it's all fluff. So
Yeah.
we kind of relayed that to Tim.
Basic
or
pyramid scheme.
Jake did. Yeah, it kind of looks that way. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
So like, there's no national teeth. It's literally a for-profit real estate company looking to get people to buy in. So Tim is putting it together, but at the end of the day, it's a real estate networking event. So whatever.
Okay. Thanks.
Sorry for the segment, show your pet. You got a pet? I see Brian, you got
All right,
one.
show us your pet.
Gabe,
My
you
pet's
got one.
hiding.
Joe, go get your cat.
There, look at there.
All
He was
right.
on my desk for a little while. He just took off, actually.
Uh-huh. All right.
Does my brother count as a pet?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah. All right, Brian, what kind of dog is that? Here comes Brandy with a cat.
Ooh.
You're muted, Brian.
You hear me?
There you go. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. He's a pug and pit bull mix.
How does that happen?
Lovable.
Look at his eyes. So my kids had a pug and my other kid had a pit bull, and there we go.
Yeah. How low can you go? Right.
One of them sleeping.
Go get Georgie.
Oh, he's in here somewhere.
All right, you're famous.
All right, Brandy, we seen your cat. Your cat took off.
No, he's right here.
Dave's got his dog, and then Luis has got, what have you got there?
This is a mutt from Buffalo. He's now 34, so he's heavy. This is Aspen. And I found him on Craigslist in Buffalo, and I had another dog that died, so I just went and got this guy and brought him home. I think he's 6 years old, and he's a bit of he's like a Dodge front end and a Ford back end with a Chevy middle. And
A Heinz 57. That's to go.
he's like I don't know, he's a mutt, but he's nice. This is Aspen, he's very nice.
That's awesome.
Gabe, tell us about Bella.
Bella's a rescue. She's years old, and rescued her last year from she was had 2 litters, and they're gonna put her away. And I'm like, and so I saw her. She actually, the funniest thing is that when she saw me cat, she came up and called on me first. But I mean, she loves cat more now. But once she put her paws on me, I'm like, that's it. We gotta take her. She's so sweet. You know, we had a rough patch in the beginning, but now she won't leave my side, and now she loves his attention. So she's a great asset to the family, though. Little Shushi. She's so cute.
Jay, what do you got going on there, Jay?
Yeah, what's that, Jay?
Jay's got a 2
You got 2 dogs there?
I got 3. Well, there's 4 altogether,
Hey,
but there's 3 on my
There he
lap.
is.
So we got Gabby, Minnie, Dory, and Sammy's in his cage. So they're having these.
Okay.
That's one of them.
Awesome.
And then you get
All right.
Nice.
hard to pet all of them at the same time.
Yeah, you gotta have 4 hands, right? Or 5 hands.
Now we got 2 kitties up here in the.
Okay, Brandy, you're first. You brought
Brandy.
yours on first.
Wait, you gotta vote for the cutest cat or the cutest animal. Who's the winner
Oh, no.
here?
No.
This
Oh.
become a pet show.
So this is Pongo. Pongo came from a rescue in North Carolina. And what else do you
How
want to
did-
know about him? He's 2
How
years
does
old.
Pongo feel about being turned into General Tso's chicken?
I don't know about that.
Dang, dude.
He's like, nope, I don't think so. But
Yeah,
it's my
you are
little
off
boy.
of Christmas this there.
Yeah, I don't think you scored any points on that one, Andy.
No.
What kind of
I have 2 rescue cats somewhere in the house, so I make
That's
Chinese
fine.
food jokes about them all the
what
time.
kind of question was that, Andy? I mean, what?
Hey man, it happens. I'm just saying.
This is King George. This is Georgie. He's a king.
Look at that big boy.
Look how big that guy is.
He's a rescue. He's 15.
It's,
Wow.
it's a pet.
How
It's a
much-
Pandora.
How much does he weigh?
What is that?
He
thing?
weighs about 10 pounds. He's George. He usually screams, and he basically
It's a cat.
he's a crazy one. But he's 15.
Uh-huh.
I rescued him. He's a Persian.
Huh.
So I rescued him.
What do you feed them?
All the new people are like, what the heck is going on? I thought this was about real estate.
I know, me too.
That's the first time I've ever done this. That was fun.
Brian, isn't your dog rescue?
No, this is good. This is good.
Oh man. Now we gotta do this. Could be called pets in real estate.
It's very,
Good. It's
Yeah,
good. It's
yeah.
good to branch off a little bit and have this fun time. Really.
right.
Buenas noches.
Sure.
See you guys.
We'll see you later, Luis.
Good night.
Thank you. Good
All
night.
right.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
All right, everybody all set?
I think so.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a great night.
See ya.
All
Good
right,
night,
Joe.
everybody.
Good night,
Thank
Joe.
you.
Great seeing you.
night.
Great
See
seeing
you,
everybody.
Brian. See you later. See you later, Scott. I'll call you.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah,
Joe,
yeah.
thanks for being realistic there for a few minutes. You know, we all lose out on deals. It sucks. You know, so
That's all
I know the
right.
feeling. Bring
Ugh,
it up, man.
anytime. I'll talk to you. I'll
Yeah,
give you a call tomorrow.
Okay.
All right.
All
You
right.
guys will talk to you
Sounds
guys
good.
later.
All right.
Good seeing you,
See you
Brian.
guys.
Good night.
All right,
Good
bye.
night. Great seeing you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Irene.